Welcome to Hollywood World. In this video, we're diving deep into the untold drama behind one of classic Hollywood's most enigmatic figures, Raymond Burr. Best known for his roles as Perry Mason and the ruthless villain in Rear Window, Burr was a man of many secrets. But what if we told you that behind the cameras, a silent war was brewing? One that involved bitter rivalries, backstabbing whispers, and open hostility. Today, we reveal the shocking truth about the stars who absolutely hated Raymond Burr, and why. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Let's get started. 1. Robert Stack. Robert Stack, the stoic host of Unsolved Mysteries and star of The Untouchables, was known for his professionalism. But behind the scenes, he had little patience for what he called Raymond Burr's superiority complex. Stack once walked off a radio interview where Burr was present, claiming Burr monopolized every conversation and dismissed others' opinions. According to Stack's memoir, Burr's passive-aggressive demeanor on set created a tense environment. Their rivalry became legend during charity galas where they'd barely acknowledge each other. It wasn't personal for Stack, it was professional. Burr had, in Stack's words, a way of making everyone feel small. 2. Peter Lofford. Peter Lofford, the suave British-American actor and member of the Rat Pack, couldn't stand Burr's duplicity. They clashed during political events in the early 60s when Burr pretended to be apolitical, even as he quietly supported causes Lofford opposed. Lofford called Burr a two-faced brute, especially after rumors spread that Burr had sabotaged a film role Lofford was up for, reportedly telling producers Lofford was unreliable. Whether true or not, the feud simmered for years. Burr would later mock the Rat Pack in private, calling them washed-up Vegas boys. Lofford's hatred lingered until his death. 3. Sal Mineo. Sal Mineo, the gifted and tragic actor of Rebel Without a Cause, crossed paths with Burr during the late 50s on the studio circuit. Mineo, a sensitive soul who was closeted and vulnerable to Hollywood's whispers, despised Burr for his hypocrisy. Burr cultivated a straight-laced, conservative public image, despite rumors he was secretly gay. Mineo reportedly said Burr was a coward hiding behind the law, referencing Burr's frequent courtroom roles that projected moral authority. For a young actor like Mineo, trying to live honestly in a hostile system, Burr's double life felt like betrayal. They shared no screen time, but avoided each other like poison. 4. Anthony Perkins. Anthony Perkins, famous for Psycho, was another actor who had deep-seated disdain for Raymond Burr. Both men were involved in discreet Hollywood gay circles, but Perkins reportedly viewed Burr as manipulative. One story recounts Burr attempting to blackball a mutual friend after being rejected romantically, something Perkins never forgave. There's a difference between discretion and destruction, Perkins allegedly told a confidant. Burr's tendency to erase parts of his past, including a fabricated marriage and child, repelled Perkins, who sought to be more honest about who he was, even if quietly. 5. Charles Laden. Though older, Charles Laden knew Burr through mutual acquaintances in the theater world. Laden, never one to mince words, found Burr insufferable. In private letters, he described Burr as a man allergic to truth, citing his fabrications about war service and personal tragedies. Laden, himself closeted but open in trusted circles, believed Burr contributed to the culture of fear in Hollywood. They never worked together, but crossed paths at industry events, often ending with Laden leaving early. His dislike wasn't theatrical, it was deeply personal. 6. Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift, the brooding star of A Place in the Sun, was known for his intense emotions and deep empathy. Burr's cold, calculating nature rubbed Clift the wrong way. Clift reportedly told Elizabeth Taylor that Burr gave him the chills, once accusing him of leaking gossip to the tabloids after a drunken dinner party. Whether Burr did or not remains unclear, but Clift never spoke to him again. Their ideological divide, Clift's artistic vulnerability versus Burr's stony facade, kept them at odds forever. 7. Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson and Raymond Burr should have been allies, navigating similar secrets. Instead, they were adversaries. Hudson's inner circle believed Burr was involved in spreading rumors to deflect attention from himself, which directly harmed Hudson's career. Burr's coldness in interviews when asked about Hudson was telling. They filmed on adjacent lots but never exchanged words. Hudson once said in private, "Burr has no empathy, only strategy." 8. Tab Hunter. Tab Hunter knew Burr's type: conservative, secretive, and threatening to anyone who didn't conform. Hunter's own experience being outed in Confidential magazine made him wary of closeted stars who threw others under the bus. He accused Burr of trying to kill stories about his sexuality by scapegoating others. Hunter once said, "Raymond didn't just lie about his life. He lied about yours too." 9. George Nader. George Nader, a lesser-known but prominent gay actor, was part of Hollywood's hidden LGBTQ+ community. Burr and Nader were friends briefly, until Burr allegedly burned him by reneging on a joint project. Nader claimed Burr promised to produce a film, only to disappear after Nader made financial sacrifices. The betrayal left a sour taste, and Nader never trusted him again. 10. Paul Lynde. Comedic actor Paul Lynde had no patience for what he called Hollywood's moral police. Burr, despite his hidden life, condemned Lynde's flamboyant style. Lynde fired back during a party, telling Burr, "Honey, I may be loud, but I'm not fake." The two never reconciled, with Lynde often mocking Burr's courtroom persona on stage and off. 11. Dirk Bogarde. British actor Dirk Bogarde, though rarely in Hollywood, shared scenes with Burr during a European production. Bogarde was appalled by Burr's treatment of the crew, writing in a diary entry, "Raymond Burr could curdle milk with a glance." Bogarde also called him an actor who believes in silence more than truth. The feeling was mutual, as Burr allegedly blocked Bogarde from future U.S. film distribution deals. 12. Farley Granger. Farley Granger, of Strangers on a Train fame, shared a rocky professional experience with Burr during a stage production. Granger accused Burr of trying to rewrite scenes and dominate rehearsals. He made it impossible to create, Granger said in an interview. Off-stage, their personal lives didn't help. Burr's contempt for Granger's semi-public relationships infuriated the younger star, who once shouted, "Why hide your shame unless you're ashamed of who you are?" 13. Clifton Webb. Clifton Webb was known for his elegant, fussy roles, and for disliking fakes. He described Burr as a man playing a part even off-screen. Webb never worked with Burr directly but warned colleagues about his behavior. "You can trust Raymond Burr," Webb once said, "to look out for Raymond Burr." His disdain was almost theatrical, but rooted in truth. 14. Cesar Romero. Cesar Romero, Hollywood's Laden lover, and later the Joker in Batman, had plenty of secrets himself. Yet he never forgave Burr for implying to studio execs that Romero was a little too colorful. Romero took this as coded language, and it cost him roles. When Burr was cast in a project Romero had lobbied for, the feud was sealed. Romero later called Burr a snake in a three-piece suit. 15. William Haynes. William Haynes, one of Hollywood's earliest openly gay actors, lived a quiet post-acting life designing interiors for the elite. Burr, once a potential client, allegedly dropped Haynes after learning about his open lifestyle. Haynes took it as a slap in the face. He later warned friends in old Hollywood circles to keep Raymond at a distance, he plays a different game. 16. Richard Chamberlain. Richard Chamberlain admired Burr's talent but hated his duplicity. In a rare interview, Chamberlain said, "It's tragic when someone turns fear into cruelty." Burr had reportedly criticized Chamberlain's early TV work as too emotional, which Chamberlain saw as coded homophobia. They never clashed publicly, but Chamberlain's disdain ran deep. 17. Tony Perkins, again, briefly. Even decades later, Tony Perkins' anger over Burr never faded. When asked near the end of his life who he'd never work with again, he simply said, "Raymond." The legacy of bitterness remained. So there you have it, 17 stars who, for reasons personal and professional, utterly hated Raymond Burr. Behind the courtroom gravitas and the mystery of Perry Mason, lived a man many in Hollywood called cold, calculating, and cruel. But what do you think? Was Burr a misunderstood genius or a ruthless star playing his part off-screen? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into old Hollywood secrets. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Hollywood World.